Hey, I'm Colleen with Snouts of Sedona, and I wanted to share some plants with you to show you that your yard does not have to be bald even though you have pet pigs. So let's kick it off with the mulberry. This is a fruitless mulberry, and the entire thing is edible, and in fact, they will love eating it. So you do want to make sure that you've lifted the branches high enough so that they're not plucking off the leaves while it's growing and developing. But if they do happen to catch a few leaves, they will absolutely love it, and it won't hurt them whatsoever. The only thing that could potentially be toxic on a mulberry are the unripe fruits. In this case, this is a fruitless mulberry, so since there's no fruits, we have nothing to worry about, and it is year-round non-toxic. If you notice the very bottom, Jason has done a fantastic job of protecting all of the trees from the piggies' lips. Especially after piggies take a bath, they love to chew on bark and then rub in the sap, so this protects the tree by doing that. All right, this over here, this is a honey locust. Particularly this one is the Shade Master honey locust. And the cool thing about the Shade Master is there are no thorns on this honey locust. So it is completely non-toxic and it won't stab and hurt. So make sure that you pick out a thornless variety. There are other kinds of locusts out there that that can be toxic. I think it's the purple robe or something. But the honey one is not. It is completely non-toxic all the way up and down. And as you can see, its bark is protected again here on the plant to stop piggy teeth from getting on it. All right, let's make our way across the bridge. This right here is a lilac, and lilacs are entirely non-toxic. This is the remnants of the blooms that occurred in the spring, and they get these beautiful purple and pink blossoms all over it. Smells super fantastic. Piggies do like to chew on the bark, but they haven't bothered this one in a while. That's why it's not wrapped at the moment, but really great shade plant. Smells super fantastic as well. This is literally my favorite plant. We didn't plant this one. These are native here. There's a number of around here. This is the mesquite tree. And the mesquite tree is completely non-toxic. The piggies love to nibble on the leaves that grow off the very bottom of it. And the awesome bonus is it happens to have mesquite pods. So right now we are just ending the month of July and the mesquite pods are just starting to ripen. So they get crispy. And these, when you eat them, they're kind of like a sweet, sugary type of chewy treat. The pigs absolutely love eating them. So especially when it gets windy after the pods ripen, it's a party time out here because everybody is jumping on and munching these things. So love, love, love the mesquite. You see a number of them around here. Over here in the corner next to Pele. Good boy, Mr. Leo. These are varieties of sage. This is the Texas sage, and we do have them protected not because it would hurt the piggies, but because the piggies will hurt these. They don't eat them. Sage is too pungent of a flavor, so they're not going to try and chew them or anything, but what they do love to do is rub on them like perfume. So we've actually had a couple sages bite the dust when we left them out in the open because the piggies literally dive bombed on it. And they all tag teamed and rolled on it until it was pulverized into the ground and completely broken. So to protect it, we have it behind little contraptions so that the piggies can still enjoy it and it looks pretty, but the plant will live on. Behind the Texas sages, we have a magnolia. So we have a variety of different size magnolias, although we planted them at the same time about 4.5 years ago or so, depending on where they are. Some of them grew taller than others. These will get to be fairly big trees, and they get these beautiful white blossoms that open up on them. They make a lot of wonderful shade, and they are completely non-toxic. Piggies could eat anything on it. The only reason that we have these ones kind of fenced off back here is because if you notice at the bottom of it, we have strawberries and squashes growing in the basins there, and the piggies will just go through and eat all those. So to protect them so that the piggies can enjoy eating the strawberries and they can enjoy eating the squash when it grows, we have it blocked off. Next to this is the fig tree. We have a variety of figs in the yard. I love them. They provide tons of shade. By the way, too, before I forget, the magnolia, it's green year-round. So that will provide shade year-round. The fig, it will lose its leaves in the winter. But it provides these awesome fruits that start to grow off it. And probably within the next, couple weeks here, these will be getting ripe and the piggies love to eat them. There are no pits in them, so nothing for them to choke on, nothing toxic on it at all. They can eat the leaves to their heart's content. In a variety of different places around the yard, you'll see blackberries. I'll show you some more. This is just in a bucket here. I'll show you some more in a minute that are growing out here in the yard. More mesquite tree, more fig trees. Just love all the pods. The piggies are going to be totally stoked. The only thing you have to worry about with mesquites is some of them have thorns. So just be careful if piggies get a full branch and there happens to be thorns on that branch. Not all of them have thorns. This bad boy here is a pomegranate. So it's actually getting all its little pomegranates on it right now. Pomegranate is completely non-toxic, and the piggies can even eat the fruit completely unripe. So Mr. Leo grabbed one of them this morning and was having a party with an unripe pomegranate, still loaded with antioxidants on it. So great for the humans, great for the piggies, totally non-toxic. We only have it fenced off because there's a lot of low-growing branches on it right now, and the piggies could break those off by rolling on them. But as you notice, they really don't even strip the leaves too much of them on here. Over to our left here, we have another variety of sage. This is Russian sage, just a different style leaf. And you can see like where it comes through. Jason caged this off really nicely so that the plant can grow out. And if they break off some stems and roll in it for perfume, it's okay, but it doesn't kill the whole plant. They don't really want to eat it at all. Again, very pungent, but they absolutely love to roll in it for perfume. Another fig over here, a manzanita, totally non-toxic. Piggies love. Here's some blackberries. So we planted a handful of blackberries just a couple years ago, and they just take off and go all over the place. So again, about into July right now, and the past couple of weeks, we've been getting the berries turning from red to black on them, and the pigs absolutely love when we reach over the fence and grab some for them to munch on. This is just another variety of fig. I forget which kind it is, but there's a bunch of different kinds out there. Another pomegranate. Let's go across the way over here. So this right here is a Russian olive, and Russian olives, they are considered an invasive species, so some people don't like to plant them. This one was here when we got here. The previous owners must have planted it. I love it though. It provides so much wonderful shade. The piggies love to hide underneath it during the day. It has these little berries on it. They're not olives, but they are little berries that grow in a stick-like fashion, and they are non-toxic. So if the piggies happen to eat them, it's perfectly fine if they do. Birds absolutely love it. So piggies really, really love this tree. We'll go on over here to Mr. Cottonwood. So this is a cottonwood. Cottonwoods will grow up to about 100 feet. So we just put this bad boy in a month or two ago. Obviously, he's doing his best to get established. They'd require a lot of water, and it is really hot right now. But when he's all nice and established, he's going to be a really fantastic shade tree. Again, completely non-toxic and wonderful shade for piggies. On our way up here, this is a catalpa, which is a hybrid from a catalupa and a desert willow. It gets these beautiful flowers on it, and I'll show you desert willow in just a little bit. We have one of those too. Gets these beautiful like pink and white flowers all over it. Everything is 100% non-toxic on it, so if the piggies want to munch on the leaves or the flowers or anything else, it's not going to hurt them whatsoever. Here's a different variety of netting the bottom of the tree to protect the bark that Jason did. He used some actual net and then just zip tied it on there to protect it so that the piggies don't chew up the bark. All right, we'll go on over here. I'll show you some salvia. So salvia is a member of the mint family, and because of that, it's totally non-toxic. The piggies enjoy to nibble it on a little bit, but it's nothing that they absolutely love. We only have it fenced just because it looked kind of nice this way, and we didn't want them to crush and dive bomb it. But this gets these really cute little hot red lips that look like snapdragons on it in the spring, and just kind of grows wild like a bush. The other thing that we've gotten here is a crepe myrtle. This crepe myrtle is definitely struggling because it gets really hot right here in the afternoon. But crepe myrtles are beautiful when they're blooming, and they get these like little bottle top kind of looking blooms that are red and purple and yellow and all different kinds of colors. All these things are completely non-toxic. Piggies could chew them if they want to, but generally they don't have any interest in munching on these plants. Now, with that said, your piggies may be different. All piggies have different taste buds, just like some of your piggies will love strawberries and other piggies won't touch it. So I always advise protecting your plant, and then you can kind of test it out with your piggies. This is a soap tree yucca, and soap tree yucca is non-toxic to the piggies. Ours do like munching on the roots when they find them around the yard. You don't want them to eat too much of it, but a small quantity is not going to be hurtful at all. And worst case scenario, if they eat like an entire root, their bellies might be a little bit upset. These are naturally grown in the yard, and we didn't remove them because they really don't hurt the piggies at all. They do enjoy a good munch on them every once in a while. You do just have to be careful because some of these can be very pointy and sharp. We've gone around and used some scissors and cut tips off of a lot of them so that they're not super spiky, but they also will grow a little bit taller eventually. And then you have less spikies at piggy eye length. But especially if you have piggies that push each other around or other animals that knock into it, I probably advise against these just because they are a little spiky unless you want to cut the tips off of them. Oh, and behind us, before I forget, we have an ash tree. So this is Arizona ash, and again, completely non-toxic. Piggies don't really want to eat the leaves of the ash at all, so we don't have to worry about that. They really aren't messing with the bark either, but totally non-toxic. Next to Tatsu here, this is a variety of ash as well. It's more of like an ash bush. I forget what kind it was, but totally non-toxic. We just protect it from getting crushed as it's establishing itself. As you see, Tatsu would just kind of roll over it if she wanted to. This is a poplar. And poplars are also very demanding as far as water is concerned. So we did just recently put this one in, trying to get it established. It will get to be a really big tree. I think they grow 30 to 50 feet, and eventually it will provide a lot of shade over here, which is why we put it in. And if the piggies happen to eat any leaves, it is completely non-toxic. Again, the bark is protected from the piggies' teeth. This is another Arizona ash as well. And around the corner here, I will show you this poor little grape. It's been getting really hot over in this corner. We've been getting over 100 degrees quite often lately. That one's not doing as hot. He got smoked. This one's doing its best to hold on, but it did make grapes for us. We just had plucked them off, and the piggies ate a couple bunches of little grapes the past couple days here. But grape is entirely non-toxic. We do keep this one blocked off because the piggies will 100% eat the entire plant. In fact, this guy on our right actually struggled the most because when we purchased him, we had him sitting on top of the hay box and the wind blew and he fell over, and the pigs were demolishing him before we ever even got him in the ground. So you do want to keep those blocked off, but eventually as they start to grow and trellis, if they eat a couple vines here and there, no big deal as long as you can keep the main part of the plant alive. This sucker here is a, oh my gosh, my brain is spacing right now. Lady Banks, thank you. The Lady Banks, and I've got a bigger, more spectacular one over here because it's just very hot in this corner and those aren't thriving there. This is a Lady Banks as well. It is a member of the rose family, so entirely non-toxic. Piggies love rose family plants, and they will eat them and pick off all their leaves. So if you notice at the very bottom there are sticks with no leaves, but it's okay because the majority of the plant is growing upwards and it's trellising, so it's okay if the piggies enjoy munching on some leaves. It gives them some stimulation, again, totally non-toxic, and then the rest of the plant gets to thrive. It gets these beautiful little different color roses depending on which one you have. Usually I think most of ours are yellow, as I recall. And then we have a desert willow. Again, one of my other favorite plants out here. Piggies love the desert willows. So they are very drought resistant and hardy in the desert. Naturally found out where we are here in Arizona. They get these neat little pods on them. If the piggies eat these, again, totally everything is non-toxic on here. They love rubbing on the bark. They don't tend to do too much damage to the bark on these guys here, so we haven't had to protect them too much. So just a really nice shade tree for the piggies for sure. This is a pine tree here. And the pine tree, there's a lot of varieties of pine. Not all of them are non-toxic, so you do have to research your pines depending on which one you're picking. But pines, actually, the needles are really high in vitamin C if they happen to munch and nibble on them. Usually they're not going to bother with them at all because it's kind of a strong, pungent taste. The things that the pigs do love are the sap. And you do have to be careful because they love the sap, but you don't want the tree to die because of it. So Jason has really nicely wrapped up the bottom of this because they were chewing on the bark. When piggies get out of the water, they love to chew on the bark and then rub in the sap to kind of like mask themselves or cologne themselves. So this tree was a high value target for them. So wrapping it will definitely protect it. But this is a safe pine tree here. And then we happen to have some more roses. So the way we like the roses here is to have them as more of a tree-like rose, because then you don't have anything thorny down below that the piggies could hurt themselves on. So these guys are boxed in, but you can see this one over here Buttercup is enjoying laying underneath it right now. The bark is protected. They can't hurt themselves because there's no thorns here. If they do happen to get like a plant leaf that trellis is down or something and there's not a lot of thorns on it, it's perfectly safe for them to eat the leaves. And they absolutely love eating the flowers. The flowers are very high in vitamin C, and it's exciting to sprinkle them around and watch them munch on them. So that is just a handful of plants that you can plant in your yard that are non-toxic to pigs. That'll give it some excitement for you and some excitement for the piggies. So happy shopping and happy planting.